Okay, let's check out the differences between a tour player. So in the blue, we've got Ian Poulter, beautiful natural swing. And in the yellow here, we've got a 24 handicapper. So we're going to look at really what the main differences are between the two players. And even if you're, if you're not off 24, if you're a 20, a 15, a 12, you're going to be doing some similar moves to this amateur golfer over here. Maybe not as much, but nowhere near as what the professionals are doing. Now, don't think because these tour players are really good that they're inhuman and they're going to move the body differently, because they're not. They actually move the body really efficiently. And unfortunately, it's a lot of amateur golfers, beginners, especially, from a lot of bad advice that's out there, who are moving inefficiently. So, you're making it a lot harder for yourself. So let's check it out then. I like to go with the spine to begin with, so we can see both players pretty similar. There's not much in their spine angle when they're set up to the ball. Right, let's take the amateur through the swing and keep an eye on the pelvic sway, and let's just see how much he actually moves off the ball with his pelvis. So you can see quite a bit, up to about 2.7 inches off the ball. That's a lot. When we looked at McIlroy, he got to about 2 maximum. But the biggest thing you can see is what's going on here with his upper body. So I'm going to call this upper body sway, because this is the real killer. And what's really going to make it a lot more difficult for you to contact the golf ball consistently. And you're always going to swing over the top if you're doing this movement as well, or you're going to hit it fat and thin. So we take a look at Poulter, and then we have a look and see how much he's going to move off the ball in relation to the amateur golfer. And you're going to see a lot less going on. He gets to about 1.6 maximum before he starts to move back towards the center, like I've talked about before. But the big thing is looking at his spine angle here, so it's pretty much vertical to begin with. And then as he starts taking that club away from the ball, very much like Garcia, his spine is actually tilting towards the target. So the tour players, the difference between the tour player and the amateur is pretty clear to see. The amateurs are moving off the ball too much, not just with their pelvis or their hips, as you might want to sort of relate it to that as well. But the upper body, this is the big one, the upper body sway. It's just moved way too far off the ball. We're looking to try and stay fairly centered when we swing back. You can see Poulter there, he stayed inside this head bubble here. The amateurs come outside of it. Okay, now the problem's going to come in the downswing. The only way this golfer is going to get the club back to the golf ball is to straighten up his spine and basically get it more vertical, because it's tilting back so far. He's got to get it back more vertical for him to hit the ball properly. But if you're going from a spine angle that's sort of tilted back at the top of your swing, when you make it more vertical to get back to the ball, it actually steepens the shaft. So you're always going to come in a lot steeper to the ball, swinging from out to in. And then we're going to see that there. So as he's starting to get to the end of his backswing and come back down, you can see it. Look at his spine, how it's coming back around to more vertical. He's trying to get back to where he started. And you can see all of the lag there. He's completely gone. He's casting the club out. He's throwing it. And he's moved too far ahead of the ball. You can see he's got a long way in front before he gets to the impact position, probably too much. And he's got a bit of a scoop at the bottom. So when you look at Poulter, when he transitions, you're going to see him staying nice and centered. His spine angle here, what you're going to see happen with that is it'll actually back up a little bit as his hips are pushing forward this way towards the target. His upper body and spine starts to back up a little bit. And that's what's creating a slingshot action that I talk about, which is a really efficient way of swinging the golf club. And you're not going against your body, you're not going against the laws of physics. Whereas over here, this is, it's going to create some serious problems. So this time, let's check it out from behind. And then I'm actually going to put in the bone wireframe. So you can actually see, really what I wanted to see here is the spine angle and how that works throughout the swing. And you see that here in the amateur golfer on the right hand side there. So let's just go through the amateur first, who's on the right hand side. You can see that spine angle really leaning back quite a lot, isn't it? You know, it's way behind the ball now. It's going to be very difficult to get back to the ball. And then we take a look at Poulter. He just doesn't budge. You know, you can see the spine is actually tilting towards the target. You know, we call that a reverse pivot, but I've shown you before with Garcia, and you know, McIlroy's doing it. They're all doing it to some degree. They're certainly not doing this, which is something that was, you know, sort of preached about a lot over the years, where you've got to get, you know, your chest over, center of your chest over your right knee. You've got to turn behind the ball, but it's gone too far. You know, you can see that this player has probably got that same sort of swing thought in his head, and it's nowhere near like the swing that we're trying to create. Nowhere. It's just not efficient. You know, it's really inconsistent, and you're never going to play good golf like that. So, really, what we're trying to do going back is try and stay nice and centered. The left shoulder should be turning down towards the ground. That's going to help you get this sort of spine tilt that you need. And then from there, it's going to keep your head nice and centered. You got a much better chance of striking the ball more consistent. You know, it's worth basically getting yourself on video. Just, you know, set up a camera, get someone to video you. You know, there's a few apps out there you can buy where you can draw some lines on. You know, see what your head's doing, see whether you're staying centered. Because if you can do that, your chances of hitting the ball are going to be increased massively. And if you can hit that ball consistently, then that's what golf's about. You're going to enjoy it a lot more. You're really not going to hit the ball very well when you're moving off it as much as this guy over here. You know, it's a real struggle to hit the ball when you're not in that position. So stay centered, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one, and you know, keep watching the videos. I'm going to be going through the differences between tour players and amateur golfers, and you know, really trying to help you out and get you in a better position where you can strike the ball more consistently. Thanks for watching.
I just caught the GForce train at 8. It's like the orange whip, only well made. You can hit shots with it, watch the ball fly. $100 said the first 20 go right. It'll train your rhythm, get your game back to where it used to be and maybe where you never knew. Pick it up, give it a rip. You need another toy, not another tip.